Welcome to a week in my life in China. We are currently on the bullet train headed to Shanghai for a little weekend getaway filled with food, shopping, relaxing, family time, and yes, more food. And I don't know what I was expecting, but I was so not expecting how mesmerizing the city was going to be.
Oh my god, we just got to Shanghai and it is so beautiful.
Apparently, I visited Shanghai when I was 4 years old, but the only recollection I have is lining up in the scorching Chinese summer sun for their infamous soup dumplings. So obviously, to continue the tradition, our first stop had to be some juicy xiaolongbao. I love the feeling of exploring a city for the first time, so we basically just spent the first day freezing our butts off while we strolled around the city, explored all the shops and massive malls, and we're just blown away by the breathtaking modern architecture and all the humans around us. And I'm sure you're not surprised to hear that no matter where in the world I end up, my most beloved pastime is spotting the little snacks and treats we pass by. Tonight was a monumental night for us because Mother's Son was finally reunited with her long-lost love, aka the tanghulu, but not just any kind of tanghulu. This was the authentic red hawthorn berries dipped in hardened sugar syrup. It tastes like an explosion of sourness, complemented by the super satisfying, crunchy, sweet aftertaste of the sugar coating. My mom, I kid you not, has been searching in every Chinatown abroad for this child favorite of hers for literally my whole life.
多少年都没吃吧？20多年了。So excited. Breakfast buffet. It's our favorite thing ever.
Breakfast buffets are one of my favorite hobbies, and I swear the ones in Asia are in a whole league of their own. There was dim sum and pastries and sauteed veggies, 10 different styles of egg, an entire hand-pulled noodle section, and even a build-your-own wonton soup station.
Drinking ice cream at the breakfast buffet.
My stomach was literally smiling. Low-key, the whole point of this weekend trip was just to fill our bellies with scrumptious food, and fill our souls a little too by leaving our worries behind and, you know, living in the moment for a while. But ironically, I find when I give my brain a chance to take a break and it's no longer distracted by my to-do list, I clear up a lot more mental space to focus on what I love more, of course, but it also creates room for more worry and more stress and more overthinking.
Hong Kong chicken.
And I end up thinking a lot about life and who I am and who I want to be and where I'm going next. And recently, I've been thinking a lot about what kind of content I really want to create. For the past year, I'd say, I've been in a creative rut and a little bit of a life rut too. And I swear I've already had like 5 quarter-life crises, so I don't know what this is. I feel like I've just outgrown a lot of things. Friendships and interests and values and clothing. But the thing is, I don't think I know who I'm growing into just yet. And I know growth and feeling lost and behind is a part of life and adulting.
You're a little angry.
But along with all that outgrowing, I feel like I'm also outgrowing the content I used to make. At first, when I started making videos, what consumed most of my brain and the majority of my life up to that point was exercise, food, and my body. I like to believe that I went through all my struggles with food so that I could store it up and create and share this content, not only to make others feel less alone, but so that I could finally let it go and heal too. I really do consider every story and video I share like a little piece of myself.
Oh my god.
Over the past 3 years of sharing, I think I've shared a little more than I've actually lived. You know that saying, you can't pour from an empty cup? Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. We can't only prioritize filling up everyone else's cups. We have to make time to fill up our own too. All I know is that I love sharing my life, but my life no longer only revolves around food and exercise. So I've known for a while that it's time to move on. I just don't know on to what exactly. And I've been trying to remind myself that there is no pressure to know now, and there's no pressure to put a label on who you are or what your content has to be. Both are constantly changing and evolving, and maybe feeling stuck and uninspired and confused is actually a great opportunity to learn more about myself and explore some new interests and create new memories and try some new foods and reinvent myself a little bit. So I'm currently doing just that, giving myself some time to try out new things and allowing myself to fail at all of it. Experimentation though is scary, change is scary, but staying the exact same and feeling unfulfilled is definitely scarier. While vacation can be quite therapeutic, I never really want to take a vacation from therapy, so I just hopped off my therapy call, and if you didn't know, I use BetterHelp, who's actually the sponsor for today's video. I literally adore BetterHelp, especially when I'm traveling, because I can just schedule a call with my therapist at any time that's convenient for me, and I don't have to worry about the time difference or anything. And I also felt that BetterHelp was a lot easier and less intimidating when I was starting therapy. I love that they let you have therapy as a phone call, video chat, or even messaging. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, you can go to betterhelp.com/sun, where they'll match you with one of 30,000 therapists in their network based on your needs, preferences, and location, which will give you a wider range of expertise compared to what you may find in your city. To get started, all you do is fill out a questionnaire about what challenges you're going through and what kind of therapist you'd like, so that BetterHelp can match you with a therapist to help you, in most cases within 48 hours. If you feel like you and your therapist aren't the best fit, you can switch therapists in a click of a button in your settings at no additional costs. So you're not gonna have to worry about awkwardly breaking up with your therapist or having to search for a new one all over again. I've been there. It's not fun. So to join the over 4 million people who've used BetterHelp, you can click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/sun. Clicking the link does help support this channel, but it also gets you 10% off your first month on BetterHelp, so you can connect with a therapist and see if it helps you. Love you guys.
Here's some rice.
I really do feel more at peace than I ever have. I think that's maybe because I'm learning to trust the universe. And as someone with mild trust issues, I'm not really good at it, but I am trying, okay? Because really, no amount of guilt can change the past, and no amount of anxiety can change the future. And when I look back, I do see why everything happened the way it did. The breakup strengthened you, the rejection redirected you to something better, the relationship taught you how to love yourself more. You wouldn't have the awareness and the perspective that you do now if you didn't go through these experiences. I don't know, I think about it like, if I went back and fixed all my mistakes, I would basically erase myself.
Oh!
Gotta get the red bean now. It's the first book you open when you come in here.
Let's normalize being lost and choosing wrong and making mistakes. It's so normal to not know where you want to go or what you're passionate about or where you want to live or how you're gonna do all of it. Yes, you can plan it all out, but what happens when life just doesn't work out that way? And you can totally execute the plan perfectly, but what happens when it's not everything you expected it to be? What if we tried to kind of just let go and let be? Life tends to turn out pretty okay, and usually better than we could have ever imagined. Sometimes some things need to fall apart so that others can come together. Some paths have to end for others to begin. And maybe I can't really understand all of it right now, but I do trust that the universe is on my side, you know? You are right on time. It's all happening. What's meant for you, it's not gonna miss you. I'm so in love with all the food in China. And while we're on the topic of love, one of my most toxic traits is falling in love with strangers. It's kind of embarrassing how easily I fall in love. My mom always says I tend to see the good in everyone, and that is why I always get hurt. But I just find that everyone I get a chance to connect with has such a beautiful soul. Like, if I were to spend a day and really get to know a person, I feel like their story and their mind and their worries and doubts and their strength would make it so easy to love them. It is a little delusional of me, but when I meet a new person, I can already imagine a beautiful friendship. A boy will barely look at me, and I've imagined our happily ever after. I can come across like the most random person on the internet and assume that they must be so cool and will do such amazing things in the future. But that's what confuses me. You see, I don't know where that love goes when it comes to myself. The bright future is suddenly filled with doubt. The happy ending seems impossibly out of reach. The bad always seems to outweigh the good. And I don't know how to forgive myself. And I don't say this for your pity. I say it because I think we are incredibly and unfairly hard on ourselves. Every human you've ever loved is very much imperfect and flawed and unsure and has made so many mistakes, and they struggle with things too, and you love them still, so you should also love you. It's hard to break thought patterns, to turn to that voice inside of your head and say, I will not let you speak to me that way, you are wrong. It's hard to choose yourself and not have people understand that. It's hard to sit down and have a conversation with your mistakes. It's hard to know that you're not where you want to be quite yet, but you are not hard to love. Be patient and give yourself time. I feel like I've lived the last 16 years of my life basically at war with myself. And that's a long time to not like yourself, to not think you deserve love, to feel dissatisfied in your body. So it's going to take a while to heal that. That was the only reality I knew. So it makes sense why you feel a little guilty, why you feel like you should be doing a little more, eating and dressing and acting a little different. You're not used to self-love, but I promise you, you deserve it.
Oh my god, I got so much stuff. I also got a celery juice. It's so good. Oh my god. That rice is so good. Xiaomais? Wow, your xiaomai. Love it. Let's try this. I like this. I love pastries.
The hotel we're staying at had a gym on like the 117th floor looking over the entire city, so it felt like a crime to not do a little sunrise yoga session. I'm really not great at yoga. I'm not the most flexible human, and I can promise you I'm most likely not doing the poses accurately at all, but I love how it makes me feel. I'm honestly not good at a lot of things I do. I'm not a fast reader, but I still love my books. I was, hands down, the worst player on all of my sports teams in high school. I cannot sing for the life of me, but I will still belt Taylor Swift in the car. You don't have to be good at something to enjoy it. Don't deprive yourself of something you find fun, or a hobby, or a sport, or a dream, just because you're not good at it yet, or not the best, or haven't done it before. Honestly, it's kind of fun to be bad at things. It low-key takes the pressure off of it. It doesn't always have to be that serious. If you like it, and it makes you feel good, just do it.
Oh my god, so many soups. My corn. Sweet potato. Oh my. Dude, yum. 小笼包, more bao, hot sticker. Why did we go crazy? Look at all these soup options. 好喝. 好喝. Wow, 都好喝. But which one's the best?
So after my very exciting 12 soup taste test, I kind of hit pause on filming consistently for the rest of this trip because every day was literally the exact same. Yoga, journaling, delicious breakfasting, editing, eating, couch potatoing, and repeat. Yep, it may sound a little boring, but it doesn't feel boring to me at all. I'm really happy that I've realized that not everything I do has to be the best or most exciting thing ever. Most of life is the boring, mundane little things. It's not traveling the world and breakfast buffets and exciting events. Yes, there are birthdays and fun meals and trips and milestones and nights out, but most nights are spent at home. Most meals are cooked or Uber Eats. Lots of time is spent working, sleeping, alone, grocery shopping, thinking, doing nothing. Don't be afraid to be a little boring or to like living a boring life. I think boring is beautiful and peaceful and wonderful and makes a very full life. Spending an entire day with your head in a book, getting lost in someone else's life, enjoying your favorite breakfast, running errands, wrapped up in your softest blanket on the couch watching a movie, journaling and having a little self-care moment, home-cooked meals with your family, chocolate, dessert, long walks, good talks, or complete silence. One of my favorite parts of being in China is that our food delivery service is crazy and crazy cheap. So every morning my mom and I will go on this app and we browse and browse hundreds of delicious breakfasts. And it's like Christmas morning every day. This is the definition of happiness. Oh, we got the super thin bean soup. Oh, we filled I used to say certain things in my videos and act a different way. I'd tell people it's okay to honor their cravings, but I'd still use food to cope and escape. I'd emphasize the importance of rest, but would beat myself up for taking any time for myself. I'd pour kindness into this channel and treat myself with anything but. I was making wellness content as like the most unwell version of myself. I was trying to help other people when really I was the one who needed to get some help and learn to help myself. So yeah, I post a little less, and I do a little less, and I spend less time on camera, make less money, and have less people in my life, and I take care of myself and enjoy my own company, and I actually rest and listen to my body, and I have found peace with food and peace across my life.
How pretty they are.
For the gym. We finally found seaweed. 喜欢很久的 So tiny. I'm literally craving broccoli. The buns we saw at the grocery store. 40 cents? I can't believe I ate 3 eggs. Yesterday I ate 5 eggs. 今天已经4个 eggs. So good egg.
Milo 肯定很高兴。So comfy.
I've been lying here for like 6 hours a day, every day. The bags here are so cute. Oh, looks good. Well, they packaged our eggs individually. 5 eggs. Big, chunky, sweet potato. Oh, my Joe looks good.
So this life may be a little more boring, but it is actually mine. And I'm so much happier. I'm doing all the things that I really stand for and believe in, and I'm talking to myself the way I've always talked to you guys. I've realized believing something and thinking something and saying something is very different from doing it.
Hello. Some yams.
So the other reason I stopped filming was because I got into a little bit of a funk. It amazes me how one day I can feel so stuck and exhausted, and the next day my mind is clearer and I feel steady and alive, you know? Sometimes it just takes getting a good night's sleep. You need to spend time with your people and to leave your house and try to do the things that you know make you feel better. Sometimes it just takes putting one foot in front of the other and getting through it. But if today was difficult for you, tomorrow can be better. I know it doesn't feel like it, but the moments that are uncomfy or hurt or don't make sense will pass. Moments are just moments. A season of life is just one of so many. You don't have to put so much pressure on yourself. And don't worry too much if you didn't accomplish what you thought you needed to today. You don't have to do all the healthy habits all at once. You don't need to be as productive as the people you see online. And you don't have to feel okay right now.
The noodle texture is so good.
I'm gonna spend the afternoon reading Iron Fooey.
Very slow reader and I keep getting distracted, so I've only read 100 pages. I want to sit here with a pistachio butter cookie. Are you peeing or pooping? You're definitely pooping.
Not every day must be filled with happy for it to be a happy life. Some days I still struggle with things I thought I'd healed from. I have days my body is my enemy all over again. I have days I am so anxious and so stressed, nothing can calm me down. I have days where I just feel inexplicably sad. It feels like I'm starting back at square one. And I've come to terms with the fact that some days will feel like this, and I will have to go back to reading positive quotes and affirmations. I will need pep talks and rant sessions, and I will need someone to remind me that I'm going to be okay and I'm doing a good job, and I will need my mom. It doesn't mean you're an emotionally unstable mess who is doing a terrible job of taking care of themselves and is broken and lost. It just means you are human. I always come back to that. We are just human. We feel a lot because we are going through a lot. I used to think struggling with the same things meant I was weak or all the work I put into healing was useless. But really, it's just because we never stop living, so we never stop healing. I used to think, I'll just do therapy until I'm fixed. I'll just practice yoga until I find my inner peace. I'll just travel until I find myself. I'll just have balanced, nourished meals until I lose the weight. And consistently work out until I have the perfect body. But a healthy mindset, a strong body, a good relationship with others and yourself, and contentment aren't things you achieve after completing a checklist and hitting the gym every day for a month. It takes a whole lot of time, more time than you think, to learn to meet yourself where you're at, and to learn to love the parts of yourself that you may find hard to love. But keep reminding yourself that every part of you, especially the parts that you find hard to love, need and deserve the most love. There is no perfectly healed version of you, and the sooner you realize that, the more at peace you will feel. My last few moments in China were filled with a lot of love, and birthday cake, and toddlers, and bad karaoke, and so much more food, and buffets, and nostalgia, and family, and goodbyes. Because it's time for me to leave and embark on a new adventure that I can't wait to share with you guys. I'm feeling a little sad and worried and afraid and am not ready whatsoever, but also so ready and could not be more excited about anything all at the same time. But before I bid you farewell, I just wanted to say, be gentle with yourself. Absolutely all of you, especially the parts that are still learning and growing and need a little bit more time. You got this. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. We will eat together again very soon. Bye, guys.